Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me and are new to my channel, my name is Myra and I am a registered nurse. And in this channel, I will be primarily talking about nursing, lifestyle, beauty, whatever y'all want me to talk about. But the primary thing I will be talking about is nursing and my journey in nursing and just, tips and tricks and just advice in general, just so y'all can have an idea of what y'all are getting yourself into and help guide you through your journey. So for this video, I want to talk about 5 tips for all my new grad nurses, all my new nurses out there, and not be surprised on what you're going to see or what you think you're going to expect. Okay, I want you guys to be ready, to feel confident, and to just go for it, okay? So like always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to like if you think this video helped you. And if y'all have any questions, like I've said before, leave a comment below and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions y'all have. Okay, so let's get started with this video. So graduation is coming up soon. So there will be a lot of new graduate nurses looking for jobs, For the most part, I do know that a lot of job offers are coming in even before you even graduate. Some of y'all might even have a job already waiting, the hospital or clinic or anywhere you're working are just basically waiting for you to pass your NCLEX and then, you go from there. But just remember, if you decide not to take the NCLEX right away, you do have like a 3-month period where you can work as a registered nurse. You would be like a graduate nurse. So saying that you graduated from an accredited facility or college, and they will basically pay you like if you already have your RN. But remember, this only lasts I believe it's like 3 months. After that, then you have to take your NCLEX. If not, you basically won't be considered an RN. My advice is don't wait too long to take the NCLEX, just because remember, you're fresh out of school, you just graduated, you just kind of want to keep all that and just keep studying and try to have your mind fresh and ready instead of waiting some time and then taking it and then just stressing yourself out even more. So I would just recommend taking it maybe like a month after or like 2-3 weeks after. Whatever you think you're comfortable with. So as a new grad, you will encounter hospitals. For the most part, a lot of hospitals are doing this now. They do have what is called like a residency program, an internship program, or a new graduate nursing program. I've seen hospitals where they call the nurses residents. I've seen some where it's interns. Although, it's not like a typical internship where you don't get paid. You do get paid, but along the way, you're learning and preparing yourself to be that independent nurse that they want you to be, right? The residency programs will consist of, obviously, you, the new grad. Every new nurse will be assigned a preceptor, which is basically a nurse who has X amount of years working at that facility, at that unit, that will basically be your go-to, will basically be the one to guide you, to teach you, to help you out in those 3 to 6 months of training, depending on the hospital as well. Every hospital is different, so every hospital offers a different amount of training. If you feel that you need more, you can talk to your manager or director and, just explain to them, I don't feel ready yet. I feel like I need a little bit more time. A lot of places are really flexible and they will help you. But, it just depends where you go. I'm not 100% sure. But what I've seen is that they will give you a chance. For me, I think they are great, especially as a new nurse. You go in and you're blind. Like, you literally don't know what's going on. You might say, well, I experienced this in clinicals or this and that. But at that point, everything you learned in nursing school compared to once you start working on your own is completely different. I mean, don't get me wrong, all the information you learned when it comes to disease process, to all these different to all the different classes you took in nursing school do apply, and they are going to help you. Obviously, you wouldn't be taking them if they didn't. But once you start actually working and taking care of patients and they're your full responsibility, it just changes your whole way of seeing things and doing things. So you always just want to make sure and investigate and do your research on what residency program will benefit you and which one is the best for you and which one you feel more safe in. So just remember, so this is how it works. So you have your residency program. So the hospital will usually make a contract, right? You have to stay for a minimum of 2 years, which is usually what I've seen is like 2 years. I guess depending on the bonus, because they do offer bonuses, like sign up bonus. It just depends where you go and how much they offer you. Every hospital is different. Not every hospital offers you a big load of money. So from there, because of that bonus, because of all the time they are spending on training you, on preparing you and assigning that preceptor, and you taking all those computer classes to learn about the system, to learn about the type of computer system the hospital uses. The hospital wants to make sure that they just didn't invest in you, and then you in less than a year are like, well, I learned what I could, I'm leaving, right? And then I'm going to take this bonus with me. I mean, it doesn't work like that, okay? So don't, the hospital is not there to lose either. So they just want to make sure that you commit to them, that you are comfortable with them, and that you are going to actually love working there, right? So for me, my first job was at a local hospital, and they offered me obviously a bonus, and they would offer that to every new nursing grad. They would offer a bonus, but you had to stay for a minimum of 2 years. If you were to leave before that, it was fine, but if you were to leave before the 1 year mark, then for the bonus and all of that will be charged. Remember, these hospitals don't just want to invest in you and want you to leave right away. They're also spending money and time on you. So you just have to choose wisely and kind of like suck it up if you don't like it. But you know what? If you really truly don't like it and you're like, I'm not comfortable here, I don't like it here, if at that point you're going to owe all this money to them, I mean, I would say just leave. I mean, do it for your health, do it for yourself. Don't just stay somewhere you're miserable in. That would be my advice too, but just think about what you're going to do before you actually sign that contract. So I don't know if y'all can relate, but when I was in nursing school, a lot of my professors would say, you know what, like med-surg is the go-to. Like start in med-surg and you will learn all the skills you need. You will learn time management. You will get to learn the medications. You will get to learn basically how the system works. But not everyone loves med-surg. So I deviated from that advice. I was just like, you know what? I just don't feel like med-surg is for me. I did have a talk with one of my professors, and I asked him, I'm like, hey, like, I'm very confused. I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to just go straight to the ICU or start in med-surg to play it safe, basically. And he just told me, you know what? If you feel you can do it, if you feel you're going to give it 100%, then go for it. He kind of reassured me that it was going to be okay. If worse comes to worse, you can always just be like, you know what, this is not for me. I want to transfer to a different unit, which is something you can also do. I also have several friends who were also advised, start in med-surg, start this, start that, and they went straight to the ED. So it's like, you just do what you want to do and don't be scared to follow that path and follow your heart and follow what you want. Because at the end of the day, the one working there is going to be you. The one that's going to be miserable is going to be you. And you don't want that for yourself. So it's kind of like you have to do you, you know? So once you start your orientation and once you start your residency and or internship, you want to make sure, you know, at that time, at that moment, you might not have all the questions you want to ask your preceptor, and they might not even come up. But always start thinking about questions to ask, things to be sure of, write down everything, how to document certain things, what to document, you know, how many times to document. And I'm sure a lot of facilities, they do give you like they will give you like binders filled with like all the policies, all the things you have to document, either for like a stroke, a STEMI, for any type of protocol that they have. They should give you like a guideline binder. You know, I would say carry that with you everywhere, especially the first few months, just to be sure that you know what you're doing and you know what you're documenting, okay? Also, so they won't be after you that like, hey, you missed this, and oh, you missed this. And then they call you or text you like, hey, you forgot to document this. You have to come tomorrow, or you have to come before 24 hours because if not, it's not valid. You know, just to get that out of the way and just do it right then and there on your shift. So back to asking questions. Ask your preceptor questions. Don't hold back. I feel like sometimes, you know, we're embarrassed or like, oh no, I don't want him or her to think that I'm stupid, or like, oh, I don't know, or, you know, because I mean, honestly, that is not the case. As a preceptor, I'm sure they know that you don't know everything. You know, you're a new grad, hence the title, new grad nurse. You're not expected to know everything, and that's fine. That's why they're there. That's why you're going through this program. And, you know, you're going to ask questions, and that's basically, that is their job, to help you understand what is to come and to help you understand what to do in a certain situation. So don't be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed. Don't feel like, oh my God, how embarrassing. I don't know anything. Like, no, just don't be embarrassed. I mean, it's just ask questions. You'll be okay. And the more you know, the better, right? A big thing I would always tell myself is, if I don't know what it is, or I don't know what I'm doing, or I feel like I don't know what I'm doing, I'm going to ask. Always ask. Never be that type of nurse that doesn't ask because you don't want them to see that you don't know something. That doesn't matter. What matters is if you don't know something and then you do it and it causes harm to a patient, that's when you're going to be freaking out. And that's when you're going to be, oh crap, I should have asked. You know, so you always want to be safe. Safety is number one. Safety is number one. I can't stress that. Always be safe on what you do. Always ask. And if you don't know something, make sure you're doing the right thing. And it all just comes back to asking, you know, just if you don't know something, just ask and it's fine. And there will be someone to help you. And if your preceptor doesn't know, then ask someone else. And if they don't know, then just keep asking until someone gives you that answer, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Just like be safe on everything you do. Obviously, we're human, we make mistakes. But, you know, you can prevent a lot of those mistakes just by taking a step back and being like, okay, let me just make sure I'm doing this right. Let me research this. If I don't know something, let me look it up. If I don't know this med, I don't even know the contraindications, I don't even know what I'm giving, let me look it up. You know, and there's resources for that in every hospital, so don't worry. And your preceptor should show you where to find those resources. And usually in orientation, they'll show you also like where to find, you know, medication interaction resources and all of that good stuff. So I know in nursing school, this is a big one. I know in nursing school, we would do care plans. I'm sure everyone has done a care plan. I know they're so annoying. You think, oh, this is so annoying. It's just a waste of time. Like, oh my God, you know, like everything. Honestly, care plans are really important. It comes to knowing what you're going to do for that patient and on that day. And another big thing, which I feel and this whole video is the number one thing besides safety, which I believe goes hand in hand with safety, is your documentation. Documentation, documentation, documentation. That is number one. Me personally, I hate writing notes. Like, I hate it. But in 5 years from now, that can save you from a lawsuit. I had a professor that would always say, document like if you were going to get sued 5 years from now. Not that you're being negative or thinking like, oh, I'm going to get sued, I'm going to get sued. No, it doesn't mean that. It just means just be very careful on your documentation. Document everything that you did, because remember that saying, if it wasn't documented, it wasn't done. And that is true. There are some computer systems that are very user-friendly that you can easily, instead of writing a note, you can document it within all the, how can I say it? Within all the tabs that it has. Like it'll have like your cardiac, your respiratory, your GI, your GU. It has a lot of different tabs. And if there's something in specific that you said, okay, well, maybe the patient's heart rate was in the 130s, patient in AFib, called MD, made aware, or orders for this, orders for that. You can go to those tabs and actually document there. I mean, it's easy to write notes. Me personally, I just hate it. But don't get me wrong, I do write notes. Especially like when doctors are in patients' rooms, when the families speak to doctors, when the doctor gives me a certain order, when, just certain things like that. But when you can do whatever you want, but my advice is, one, look at the system really well and make sure it's user friendly. If it's a little bit complicated, then I would just recommend, if you just don't want to get into all those like little tabs and you're confused and whether what to do, then just do a note and just explain in your note exactly what's going on. Document, 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 document. That's really important, and it will save your butt. On the last note I want to finish on is be confident. Be confident in your work. I'm not saying to, be confident and think you know everything, but be confident in what you do. You are going to doubt yourself, and that's normal. But don't doubt yourself all the time. Don't think, I'm doing this wrong, and oh no, I'm doing that wrong, and I'm not sure, and this, because at the end of the day, you are responsible for, depending on where you work, and a certain amount of human beings, and you're responsible for their lives. You're taking care of them, and you just have to be confident and show that you know what you're doing. And if you don't, like I said, ask. But you also don't want to give off that oh my God, I don't even know what I'm doing to the patient, because they're going to notice. Patients notice everything, and family members notice everything. So you don't want to be that nurse that they go and complain of and be like, this nurse doesn't know what she's doing. You want to be confident in your work. And like I said, if you don't know something, then just ask. It's okay. Everyone's there to help you, and you'll be fine. Just enjoy the ride. Enjoy your experience. Enjoy being a nurse. Enjoy all the friends you're going to make. Enjoy all the knowledge you're going to take. Just enjoy it, because it goes by so fast. And in a blink of an eye, you're like, oh, I've been a nurse for a year. Oh, it's already been 5 years. Oh, it just goes by so fast that you just kind of don't want to be stuck in one place and be like, well, I was always just this nurse that never really wanted to do anything else. I never even wanted to learn more. Do the most you can, learn the most you can, have fun with it, enjoy it. It's a really rewarding career. You will have downs and you will have ups. But I feel like you learn a lot. you become a stronger individual. And it's a great feeling that even if it was just for that one shift, or maybe you didn't do a lot for the patient, but maybe it was just, maybe it was just, you gave me a bed bath and that felt really good and the patient really appreciated it, and that just makes you feel good because you made them comfortable. So yeah, just enjoy being a nurse, enjoy learning, and I'll see you in my next video. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on social media, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.